Hey there, BiggerPockets, it's Matt. So today we're going to talk about building your buy and hold dream team, okay? So buy and hold is the long game of real estate. It's not a get in, wholesale it. It's not a get in, fix it up and flip it and make a check somewhere between 2 and 6 months of you getting engaged in a deal. Buy and hold is long term. It's wealth building, and sometimes it's a little bit of cash flow that ends up being large cash flow over time. But any way you play it, buy and hold is a long game in real estate. And there's many reasons why that is, but it's extremely lucrative if you play buy and hold on the long game. So it's important to have a dream team of people that can help you manage that property out through the long game. Not just management, but help you do all the facets of the buy and hold game. You need to have the dream team that help you put that together. So today we're going to talk about what that dream team is and how you can put them together. So again, it is a great long-term game to play, but with the right team, you can duplicate your efforts over and over and over. You can do the BRRRR strategy where you buy properties, you renovate them, rent them out, refinance, do it over and over again, and you can build an enormous portfolio for yourself. But the only way you're going to do that is with having a great team of people helping you implement your vision, right? So let's get into it. So the first thing that I think you need to have on a buy and hold dream team is you got to have your money team. Okay? Now, your money team looks like this. So it's definitely banks and things like that. So let's put your banker down. You got to be bankable. You've got to be able to borrow money. So if you're looking to play the buy and hold game, but you've got crummy credit or whatever that may be, get that fixed first and make sure you've got a banker that's willing to stand behind you and give you loans, because it's going to be hard to grow a big buy and hold portfolio for yourself if you're not bankable. So get bankable so you can get a bank standing behind you. And then you need some private money, investors, whatever those may be. Now these investors that you need to have on your money team, on your money dream team, are either, well, it helps if they're both, if they're willing to do both for you, but these are either private loans. So if you're doing the BRRRR thing, the buy, renovate, rent out, refinance, this is through which you're buying the property. You're buying it through a private loan, then you're refinancing with this person. This is a dream team equation, that you've got an investor that's financing a property for you, and they're financing the construction as well, and that bank is taking them out through a refinance, and you bring it back to this person to do it again. Now, once you get a little more sophisticated, this investor, or perhaps a different investor, can do something else for you, and that's to step in as private equity. Okay. Now, private equities, they have long-term ownership of the property. Perhaps you're refinancing and buying them out at some point in the future as well. But they are enjoying the long-term benefits of property ownership alongside you. These are investors with cash that are bringing them into your deal. It's just a different position. But if you've got a really good dream team, you've got private equity people you can do bigger deals with, private loans you can do smaller properties with. But these could be the same investors, could be different groups. But again, a dream team has private loans and private equity people in place. Okay? Now, here's another money partner that you've got to have on your dream team that a lot of people overlook. You've got to have a great CPA. Okay? That's your certified public accountant. Your CPA needs to get and understand the real estate game to the point, like my CPA owns real estate. I would recommend to all you guys that the CPA you have is also invested in real property too. If they're just charging you and turning your tax returns into the IRS and charging you for what their fees are, you can do better than that. You've got to get a CPA who's willing to sit down with you, look through your books, make suggestions on how you can best leverage your tax strategy and things like that. So have a great CPA, because that will benefit the money game, and it'll make it a dream team that you can benefit your private lenders, your investors, all through your CPA's activities, and make this money team sing like a song. Okay? Now, that's the money team. The next thing you got is your acquisitions team. I'll write the word out so you guys know what I said. Acquisitions. Okay? Now, there's two people on your acquisitions team, aside from people that might be, yourself, or people that run around and look at deals for you. When you get that big, that you have people that are actually literally on your acquisitions team. But if you're just getting started, you need to have 2 people really on your acquisitions team, and that's your realtor and a wholesaler. Let me pluralize both these words, because you can't just work with one people, unfortunately. Every realtor I've ever talked to would love to represent me on every transaction I make, and wholesalers want to be your go-to as well. It's just not the way the world is. A lot of people start here. They start here saying, I'm going to go talk to realtors and say, I want to buy a property. The problem is, realtors, especially in today's market, and wholesalers too, are getting their phone blown up every day by people saying, I want to buy property through you. I want to buy property through you. And they just ring their bell and say, hey, I want to do deals, I want to do deals. The problem that most of these people that are calling these folks have is they don't have that set up. They don't have their money team and the money source of capital set up before they start making phone calls. Okay? So that's the first thing, is you do this first. Then you do this. Then you go to acquisitions, okay? And at least have a few of these things. You don't have to have it singing like a song just yet, but have a bank that'll stand behind you, at least one private money lender or a bunch of your own cash, and a CPA that's willing to stand behind you too, before you start calling these people. And it sounds somewhat counterintuitive, because some people say find the deal and the money will follow. Yes, but find some money first, and it'll be real easy to close these deals. Now, here's the little secret and what it takes to get these people to take you seriously, okay? You may have to pay a few dollars more for your first deal. Especially this person to take you seriously, you're probably going to have to be willing to pay, not whatever they ask, negotiate, pay, get a good deal that works for the both of you. But if you want to be their first phone call, you're going to have to show them that you can close, and close the deal, as long as it's a good deal. Close the deal, get to closing, show them that you can buy, okay? Same with your realtor as well. And I promise you, if you close a deal and take it all the way to closing with them, they will be loyal and they'll bring deals back to you. The problem that these folks have is there are a lot of talkers out there. So don't be a talker, be a doer, okay? And the only way you can be a doer is if you get this in place and you're willing to take a deal to closing, okay? So that's number 2. Now, the third thing that you've got to have is you got to have your management team, your management dream team. Okay? Now, a lot of people spend all their time on buy and hold here and on like, okay, let me run which analysis software I'm going to use, and there's a lot more that goes into this, but these are your team members. But people spend too much time just analyzing deals. But like analyzing deals is like the 10% side of buy and hold. And that's developing the plan that it's going to take to make the deal profitable. But the real profit from buy and hold comes from properly managing the building, because you're not going to own it for 6 months. You're going to own it hopefully for years and years and years and years, right? So once you buy right at the right price, then the management side is to implement that plan and to keep the property operating well and keep tenants paying their rent and stuff like that. So management is perhaps the last piece that falls into place, but it's the one that's the most disregarded, okay? Now, this conversation plays whether you're doing it yourself or whether you're outsourcing management, because I hear a lot of people say, oh, I don't do management, I'm going to outsource it. Okay, I get that you're going to outsource management and have somebody else do that, but you got to at least make sure that the manager you're hiring is properly equipped and that they have their dream team. So these are perhaps, if you're going to outsource management, these are things you can use to vet out that manager. And if you're going to do it yourself, like we manage a lot of the properties we own with my own team, these are things that we do. Manage yourself, manage other people. You still need to have this conversation one way or the other, right? So under your management team, you need to have the actual property manager, okay? This is the person that's collecting rents, that's calling to make sure the rents are being paid, and reminding tenants if their rent's late to get in there and pay the rent, and of course filing eviction if they don't, receiving maintenance calls, and being the front person to the tenants. Sometimes this is a company, sometimes it's an individual, whatever it is. So there's the property manager, that's an easy one, right? But the real vet out, you want to make sure this person's knows what they're doing and that they know the laws of real estate and that they're a good aggressive company or a good aggressive person. But the money in management gets made on these other ones, and that's leasing. And make sure you've got a good leasing agent that knows their market and knows how to market really well. Sometimes this is the same company and the same person, sometimes it's not. So I actually sub out all of our leasing. We have a third-party leasing company that does just leasing. That's what they do. And that's who we use. So either if it's a third party or if it's part of this company, make sure that the leasing arm of the organization does a really great job in attracting and vetting tenants, right? Now, you've got your let's say just your maintenance side of things, and then you've got another side of contracting that we can talk about in a second. Maintenance is the person that goes out and handles the emergency maintenance calls. So my toilet's overflowing, or there's something happening in my unit, the tenant making this phone call. This is the person that goes out and takes that. So if you're hiring a third-party company, ask them, is this person in-house? And can I meet one of them? And how are they trained? And what are they equipped with, on their truck? What's on their vehicle? Those are all questions you need to ask. So can they be Johnny on the spot and answer questions quickly? Do they have 24-hour response? So if a tenant calls at 3 in the morning, is this person going out? Or is it wait till the next business day to respond to the tenant's maintenance request? This is a concern of yours because if the tenants are not properly taken care of by solid good maintenance, they will move. And it will throw off your whole equation. It will throw off your cash flow. Because the biggest thing that will throw off cash flow in any rental is vacancy. So this is an important point. Now, the next thing you want to do is and this is just general contracting, okay? Now, they fall under a couple of different buckets. So you either want to make sure your third-party property management company has a few different contractors that can do a few different things that we'll talk about right now, or if you're going to do it yourself like we did when we first got started, make sure you have these subcontractors in place. Now, contractors you have to have in place for your dream team are, you've got to have a turnover team. Now, your people, this is when tenants move out, who puts the property back into good working order so that the next tenant can move in, right? Unfortunately, for those of you that don't own real estate, for those of you who do know what I'm talking about, when tenants move out, they don't always give it back to you the way that you gave it to them. And the place might need a little bit of work. And this is even with great tenants, the place might need a paint job, might need some touch up on flooring, might need some major reno that you're gonna have to do to bring it back up to your standard of good working order, right? So this is probably not this person, not this company. And if you wanna do it fast and swift and at a flat number, then you need a turnover team, like a small contractor that can get in and touch up, and maybe for a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 or whatever the scope of work is, can get the unit back up and running within a couple of days. Because remember, what's the biggest cash flow killer in buy and hold? Vacancy. If it takes a while to turn the property over, you will lose more money, right? So then you got under contractors is your specialists, okay? Not enough time to get into every specialist that there is, but here's a few examples that you have to have in your Rolodex. Is your emergency plumber. Not the plumber that can plumb a whole house for you, but your emergency plumber that can go and clear out a drain. Unfortunately, drain clogs are probably 30-40% of the maintenance calls we get. Clogged toilets, clogged sinks, clogged this. A lot of times it's the tenant's fault, so we charge them back for it, but you still gotta have the specialist that can go out there and take care of it. So that's a drain clog guy. The second thing that you need under a specialist is a roofer that can go and take care of roof leaks and things like that. Because roof leaks need to get taken care of immediately. Roof leak, this is not your roof leak fix guy, okay? You need a specialist for that. And another great specialist I like to have in my Rolodex too is an appliance repair company. Harder and harder to come by, believe it or not, these days. It's kind of a dying business, but if you can get a specialist that's local to you that can fix appliances, it's a good specialist to have in your Rolodex. So that's that. There's other contractors that may spur off here. Off the top of my head, there's maybe a maintenance electrician or something like that that could do a few things here and there. But under the management side, again, you got your property manager and your leasing person, your regular day-to-day maintenance, and then all your contractors. With that team under management, you'll be able to get the properties that you bought at the right price with the right financing. You'll be able to make it sing the song and spin off lots and lots of cash flow for you and your investors, and everybody's happy. And if this dynamic works, you can create a well-oiled machine, and before you know it, yeah, this is spinning off more cash, it's building you a good reputation, so more of these folks are jumping in, more of these folks are getting behind you, this guy's happy, your CPA, and then you're able to show that you are a strong, viable force to these people so you can buy more deals and put them into the pipeline. So you see the flow kind of goes here, and it goes here, then if this is strong, it generates more cash so you can make more of this happen, and it comes all the way back, okay? So that is how you build a real estate dream team. As I always say, guys, leave some comments below. Maybe I left something out. Maybe I did it on purpose so you guys can call me out and we can have a conversation on BP about it, right? So leave comments below. Get into chatter. You know, I love the conversations I have with you guys after we do this. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And as I always say, have a great, profitable week.